Hi, I'm Russ Whitlock. I had the pleasure of serving as the superintendent of the Lyndon B. Johnson National Historical Park from August 2006 to January 2017. We lost Mrs. Johnson in 2007, and with that, the end of the life estate of the ranch house and the surrounding buildings. You see, the deed had said that at the end of the Johnson's life, the Texas White House would slowly convert from a private residence to a public museum. And in the subsequent years, I worked closely with Lucy and Linda to slowly begin the transformation of the Texas White House. In the years as we slowly began to open the house, we quickly realized that we needed some type of photo book that people could take with them as a souvenir, or that people could get anywhere around the world that never had an opportunity to visit the Texas Hill Country or the LBJ Ranch. Scott Miller was a volunteer in park, a well-known wildlife and landscape photographer, and he worked tirelessly with me to capture each room of the house, the first and second floors, so that we could use those to provide a great documentary of the house as it would have been seen if you had been a visitor there during the presidential years. His photos, along with those of David Valdez, photos gleaned from the archives of the LBJ Library, all went together to produce this book. And I have to say that the authenticity is incredible. Very few things had to be bought that we didn't have. Libby Hewlett was the park's first curator. Her husband, Barney, had been a presidential pilot and then had served the president of the post-presidential years, flying he and Mrs. Johnson around the country. Libby was personal friends with Mrs. Johnson and with the daughters, Lucy and Linda. And as anything happened in the house to modernize it, Libby would take all of the old things and store them away. When we began working on the president's office, the first addition that they had made to the Texas White House, we were able to bring it back to a time so that the public can experience it just like you would have if you had visited the Senate Majority Leader, the Vice President, or the President on the LBJ Ranch. The ranch house grew a lot from the time when the Johnsons bought it in the early 1950s. But as his power and influence grew, the house needed to grow along with it. As the world came to the Texas Hill Country to visit with the Senate Majority Leader, the Vice President, and especially during the presidential years, the house needed to accommodate an increasing number of people. Mrs. Johnson one time said that it was almost like you needed air traffic control as the flights would circle the ranch waiting for the permission to land to bring someone in to meet with the president. The Friends and the National Park Service right now are working on a total restoration of the structure. And hopefully in 2026, we'll all have a chance to go back in and relive the times of the presidential years. My book is filled with photos and stories, accounts that I gleaned from family members, the Secret Service Corps, members of the president's team that had worked with him there in that house, friends and neighbors who had spent so many times celebrating and enjoying the ranch house and the ranch with the Johnsons. And I'm going to, in the coming months, take it apart and slowly show you room by room and share with you some of the special stories of items and events that happened in the house in that time. I look forward to sharing that with you in the coming months.